Okay, I'm going to go through the process of creating a form in Access. I'm going to click on our borrower table, click on Create, and from here I'm going to choose Blank Form. At the moment this form is just in View mode. So that we can actually change it, we need to go into Design mode. If you drag down the corner here, you can make it bigger. It's up to you. And just some of the other things that you can do, if we just click on Arrange, I'm just going to click Form Header and Footer so that I have the ability to put a header on top of the form, so I can put the name of the form or whatever I want it in there. So just go back to Design mode, and to put a text at the top we use Label, type in my text, so borrower's data entry, and click off. One of the things that we can do here, I know it looks quite boring at the moment, but if I select it and I go into the property sheet, and you can get a property sheet for absolutely any element, including the detail, the form header, and anything you put on it. You can get a property sheet and you can change fonts, colors. You can see here sorts of things that you can do. So for example, if I want to change the background color of that header, I can click here, find background color, click here, click the little dotties to get my lovely little drop down color chart, pick a nice blue and click here, and there it is. And I want my text size to be a bit bigger, maybe to say 24, and perhaps even a different font, something kind of blocky, don't know, let me think, Chiller, that'll do. There we go, and it's changed the font. So you can pretty much do whatever you want here with any of the formats of any of the elements that you place on the screen. Some of the other things that we need to do to create a form is actually have our fields on there. So if we click the Add Existing Fields button, these are the fields that are based on the table over here that we had selected, and we can very simply just drag them across. I won't put them all on, I'll just put a few things on just so that you can get the gist of this, like so. Each element can be selected individually. If I select the actual field name, you can see the orange box around part of it. You get these two little squares on each, but that just means that I can move them around. If I want to move them independently, I click on the little square at the top and I can move just the field bit away from its actual label. This is the label, this is the text box that you will be using to enter the data in. So I can select, click on the individual ones, and again I can decide to use the property sheet and change things like background color and borders, fonts, whatever I want to change. I'll do something nice and bright so you can see it, and you can see that's turned yellow. Yay. Click on here, this is actually the whole detail section. You see there's black line up here. If I want to change this whole form section to a different color, click here again, under Format, click my little dotties, and I can choose what's going to look absolutely disgusting with that, maybe that one. I can choose a background color, and there it is. If I want to see what the form's going to look like, I click up here to View and change it into View Form, and that's what it will look like. Go back here into Design mode. Some of the other things that you can do, as well as just using straight text boxes, you can use some of these other things. So I'm just going to show you how to put a drop down box, for example. So again, go back to the Add Existing Fields section, and I'm going to select here Combo Box because I prefer that to a list box. I'm going to click on State, and I'm going to drag State over to my form. The wizard box comes up, and I'm going to decide that I will type the options in the box. So click there and click Next. I'll only do a couple here, otherwise I'll be here all night. But for example, I can put the states in. That'll do. Click Next. I'm going to store the value in this field, which is state, which is exactly what I do. Click next, call it state, fine with that, and click finish. And again, just so that we can see, actually I might move it a little bit over there because it's sitting on top of another one. But again, if I go back into the view, if I was actually entering data in here, I would be able to use the drop down list and put data in. Just go back to design view, and you just can continue to design the form until you're happy. When you're happy with it, you can close it, save it, give it a name, and it will then appear down in this section here. Other things that you can do, just very briefly, is you can add things like dates and other stuff like that. But also under the Arrange tab, if you don't like to select your own colours, if you aren't as creative as I am, you can actually use here and select a style from the range of styles that are there. So what I'm going to do is just close this. It'll ask me if I want to save it. Go yes, type in the name, click OK. Click OK, and there it is now in my form. I can double click it to display it. And that is it for today. Thank you.